So this is what happens when you don't have your tools at your new house. You have to use your MR2 as a pickup truck. Alright, so when I bought this MR2, it was decked out. All the parts were name brand. They still are. The front bumper was one of my favorite parts. It had an Aeroware style front lip. I used style very specifically because it was not Aeroware. It was a cheap fiberglass version that literally disintegrated when it hit the road. The guy before me had drift stitched it back up and it looked okay, but as soon as I got hit a year and a half ago in that gas station, it exploded. I mean, like, parts of the lip went everywhere, along with parts of the bumper and my JDM fog lights and my JDM turn signals, and I was very sad. So I'm starting to rebuild this car, especially from the wreck, put everything back together and make it look like it used to, and put some of my own touches on it as well. But instead of buying a lip that I was going to buy for like 60 bucks, I wanted to try the Home Depot lip again. It was $12 because I'm going to use 2 pieces this time, so it goes all the way around the bumper. And I figured 12 bucks was worth a shot, and it might be entertaining to watch. So that's what I'm going to do today. Check it out. So like I said, I'm in the process of moving, so my tools are literally spread out everywhere. So I'm going to be doing this today with some not so conventional tools, or not the tools I would normally use. Like for cutting, I normally use a Dremel, but I don't have my Dremel, so I'm going to use some shears. But I picked up some hardware, just a box of hardware, some lock washers, and then these pieces. It's like a plastic paver guard for your garden. You can get them at the outdoor section of Lowe's. These were $6. Super cheap, flexible, strong, and cheap. So I like cheap when it comes to something that's going to be hitting the ground a lot, especially on lowered cars, so this is going to work. I thought I just broke it, but I broke this in here. That's good. Okay, cool. I haven't used this specific one. The other one that I used was kind of shaped a little differently, so it should be interesting, but I don't see why it shouldn't work. So let's try it. So I'm going to start by cutting these supports. They keep it from being able to be bent. So if you take them and cut them off, it becomes flexible. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them. Now, we have a flexible piece. So you'll take these and you'll cut the little round things out so that you have a flexible piece. I like to start in the middle, and the MR2 actually has a seam right here in the center where this 2-piece lip comes together. So I'm going to make an extension to this existing plastic lip, and hopefully it'll hold on. So I use a lock washer on the back of every single screw to lock this nut in place so it doesn't come off from all the vibration on the road. Here's a good lesson. When you're bending this stuff, especially around tight corners, bend a little bit at a time. Screw it in, then another one, screw it in. Otherwise, it's gonna break. So, I guess what that means is I'm gonna finish this side with the other piece, and then I'll have to go get some more of this stuff tomorrow. Maybe. That's how it goes sometimes. Alright, so I'm back where I started, or where I was. I'm officially farther than I was last time. So now that it's kind of taking a tighter turn, I'm going to put screws in at every single one of these, all the way to this one. You can't see what I'm talking about. every single one of these little tabs, I'm going to put screws in so that it distributes the weight a little bit better and doesn't put a whole lot of stress on any one given area. And I think that that will work. We're going to see. Alright, so that's twice in a row. That actually does work. I just take these clippers, I don't know what they're for, and I squeeze real hard right here, and it breaks honestly really clean. Kind of happy about that. You know what? I'll peel it off later. That was way harder than the other one. It's coming off in like a million pieces. Anyway, I'm done with this for today. I've got to go to work. I'm going to come back tomorrow and do the other side, and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so I went and picked up another piece to finish the MR2, but I also went back to the last video I made about making one of these lips, and I read the comments, and I saw a comment that said if I put some heat on this plastic, I can reshape it so it doesn't pull back against my bumper as hard and doesn't risk damaging my bumper. So that's what I'm going to do in here. I'm going to cut all these things again, and then I'm going to use my heat gun to shape this a little bit before I put it on the bumper. And I hope that that'll take away any chance of it breaking and help it fit the bumper a little bit better. So we'll see. So that actually made it a lot more flexible. I'm going to heat this area here, and that should be enough to match my curve. Alright, so you can see this is the left side of the lip, and the one that I heated is bending a lot easier than the one over there did. If you remember, which for me it's been, you know, a day, for you it's been a couple of seconds or minutes, but the last one broke. If you ever wonder what it's like living in Alabama, gunshots happen all the time. Alright, anyway, so one from yesterday broke when I tried to bend it, and this one, now that I've added heat to it, has bent a lot more. So I may end up pulling the other one off and adding heat to it as well to get it to bend a little bit more so it doesn't stress my bumper. But I'm going to go ahead and install this one and see how well it'll match the contour of the bumper now that we've heated it and allowed it to bend on itself. Good. Now I'm going to trim up the edges, and I was going to paint it, but it matches almost perfect, so I guess I'm going to leave it.